Today, I want to show you a very cool feature in Google Forms called conditional responses. And so here I've made a math exit ticket. And if you look at this, what I've done is I've made 3 questions, and I kind of put a cheat on here. I wouldn't normally put this on an exit ticket, but I made one question that's on grade level. So the idea is this is a question for a 5th grader. And yes, I'm sorry, I know I'm sending this to high school and elementary. I have to just kind of pick grade level. I picked 5th grade because, frankly, I'm pretty comfortable with 5th grade math. High school math, not so much. So this is a question that if I gave this to my kids and they were able to answer it successfully, that makes me feel pretty warm and fuzzy that they are doing great. They're going to do well on the test. If they can answer this question, I feel like they've got that skill locked down. Now down here, I made a question that's the same teak, but what I've done is I've modified it somehow. So in this case, I flipped the formula around. So instead of having both the lengths of both sides, this one I give them the area in one of the sides. I want to see, can they work the inverse of this problem? Because if they can, that makes me feel really good. Hey, they really understand this idea of area, that they can work it backwards. I've also made a 3rd question. So this is it's the same teak, but in this case, it's not a word problem. It's not a story. And I've given them a visual aid. So it's the same skill, but it's definitely at a level where if they get this right, at least I know, like, okay, we're on the right track. We have some building and scaffolding to do, but at least like they understand the basic idea of how do you find area. They understand the formula, right? Now, here's the thing. If I click on this preview button to see what the kids see, they're going to have to answer all 3 questions. And when you get to the end of a class period and you're doing an exit ticket, you don't have a lot of time. And some days you're really trying to squeeze this in here. That's why most exit tickets are 1 question. It's just, we don't have a lot of time. Well, it's kind of silly. If they get this question correct, I don't really need them to spend any time working on this one down here because I already know they know how to do the skill. So I'm assuming they're going to be good on this one too, right? And the flip side is, if they get this right, if they get this wrong, I would like them to, they don't need to see this question. If they can't get this one right, I don't like their odds of getting the exceeds question correct. So it's kind of a waste of time, right? So one thing you can do to streamline these exit tickets is we can use this conditional responses thing. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So down here, we get this little button that says more options. And I get this thing that says go to section based on answer. Now, what I'm going to have to do before I click that button is I'm going to click on this question. I'm going to add a section. So this now says section 2, and I'm going to click over here, and I'm going to add a section below this. It says section 3. I can call this section, just to make things easier for me, how about exceeds? And I can call this one approaches. Okay, if I go back and I look at the quiz now it's not all 3 questions, right? It's like this question, they click next. It's this question, they click next, and this is the last question. Now, that doesn't do anything yet. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to my very first question, and I'm going to click this button, and I'm going to say go to section based on answer. Now, if you notice, this thing over here changed. So now, depending on what answer choice they choose, we can funnel them to a question. So if they get this question correct, if they select 216 feet, I want them to go to the section that is the exceeds question. If they answer anything else, it's incorrect. I want them to go to the section that has the approaches question. Now, when I get down to question 2 and 3, I want them on this question. If they get the first question right and they go to this one, then at that point I'm going to say, hey, once you answer this one, just click submit. I don't need you to go to this 3rd section. And same thing down here. Say once you're done, you're done. Now if I go back and I click my preview, let's look at this. Okay, let's say the kid answers it correct and they click the next button. Oh, now it gives them the option to do the exceeds question. Now whatever they answer on this one, it's grayed out because I'm not accepting answers yet, but if I were, they would just submit it. Now I'm going to click the back button. Let's say they answered it incorrectly. Now they go straight to the approaches level question. They didn't have to waste any time trying to go to the one that they're not going to get that one right. And same thing, they click submit and they're done. Now, one thing I will warn you of, I told you in the beginning, I said I would not put these hints on here of on grade level or exceeds or whatever, because if they're smart, they'll realize if they click this one and they go to next and they see approaches, after a while, the bright ones will figure out, oh, that means I clicked the wrong one. Let me go back and click around until I find the one that, oh, exceeds. That means I got it right. So you got to be careful. I would come up with some sort of code that only you know about, or just have just your format that you just have, or you just look at them and you know which one's which. But I wouldn't give them that hint because, like I said, your bright ones will figure that out, and then they'll tell their friends, and everyone will know. Now, that being said, once they submit all these, you're going to have some really great actionable data. Because now your friends who were able to get it correctly, get it done correctly on grade level, now you'll see, can they do it at the next level? Are they ready for an even harder challenge? Flip side is your friends who can't do it on grade level, you'll get more data of, okay, if they couldn't do it on grade level, can they do it with some scaffolding? Maybe it's the word problem part that's throwing them off. Maybe they just need more pictorial representations. Maybe they just can't visualize the problem, right? This gives you more actionable data that you can use to then help your class, help these kids get ahead a little further. So conditional formatting, I'm a huge fan of it. And in general, it's just going to make your data more actionable. If you would like to try this and you feel a little intimidated setting up one of these spreadsheets for the first time, let us know. We can help you and say, hey, let's do, how about I'll set it up for you the first time and you can just give it to your class and you can see if you like this, you're like, oh, that data was really great. I really appreciate that. Then we can work together on getting you comfortable with making these. If you use it and it's awesome, tell us because I want to know. If you use it and it breaks, tell me because I want to know how it broke so that way we can try and fix it. But yeah, give this a shot. It's super cool.